In 2 years, he's the third Norwegian to exchange money for my 376-page creation. I'm touched. Brushing my teeth with the door open, I recognize a man leaving his room. I sat next to you on the plane. Ah, yes, you are always sleeping, he says. At the breakfast table, he explains he's a professor of Norwegian literature. I reveal my favorite Norwegian novels are The Birds by Tarjei Vesaas, A House in Norway by Vigdis Hjorth, and Hunger by Knut Hamsun, all read in translation. He's overjoyed with our conversation. Yes, and the black and white film version of Hunger is a must-watch. Doppler is such a clever book. Knausgård is the world's greatest living writer. Vesaas is a genius of the human heart. Hjorth is highly intelligent. Gardner an underrated philosopher. Syrstad has a strong eye and isn't afraid of stating the facts. Pettersson's books are true Norwegian gems, especially Out Stealing Horses. I tell him I was reading Jans Bjørneboe's The Sharks at a cafe when a worker exclaimed, "I love that book. Pity he's a misogynist," and bared angry white teeth when I said, "He can't be a misogynist. He's dead." Ah, yes, Bjørneboe. Wonderful, so wonderful. But you must try Dag Solstad. Won many awards. Ibsen is my favorite, along with Undset. But there are hundreds of greats. Hundreds. Have you ever read the Danish Norwegian, Axel Sandemos? Ah, fantastic writer. My partner dismisses Janteloven as dated. I see it everywhere in Norwegian psyche. Do you? Of course. It's very important. We're great believers in fairness. I enjoy his enthusiasm, although unrevealing of Sandemos mocking society and without negative criticism of any Norwegian writer, I'm skeptical. What foreign literature do you read? I ask. Oh, a bit of Swedish, some Danish. I enjoy Icelandic sagas. Anything outside of Scandinavia? No. American, French, English, or Russian? No, I'm not interested. I stroke my chin. I'm meeting someone in town, so maybe I'll see you after. Yes, a day of walking and beer and then more walking for me. He laughs. Later, I'm sitting in the common area with Lucas, a friend of mine living in Lisbon, and the professor leaves his room and approaches him. Where are you from? Canada. Canada? Oh, that's okay. Where's not okay? I ask. America. I like Trump, Lucas says. You're joking, he replies, leaving before a confrontation. Lucas, it worries me a professor of literature judges one by nationality. I'm from academia. With certain nations, it's commonplace. Don't pretend to be so naive. Couple of days pass. I don't encounter the professor until checking in for our coincidental departing flight. He greets me and we chat. I enjoyed having my own room at the hostel, I say. Oh yes, me too. Privacy is important, and I don't do well with hotels. I don't like rich people. Are you going back to teach immediately? No. I have a huge new camper van, so I'll take it around Norway. After, I'll head to my hytte for a few days relaxation. Clearing security together, I take a seat in the crowded departure lounge and wipe sweat from my brow. I have one of my books left. Would you like a complimentary copy? If not, perhaps someone in your department may be curious to read it. His cheekbones raise, showing uneven teeth, and he shakes his head from side to side. From the front to the rear of my camper van, I have a whole shelf of novels to read. I don't need more books. Airborne, I stretch my legs and cradle down the aisle, noting the professor reading a Lisbon tourist brochure. He looks up. I finished my crime thriller, and this is all I have to read. I open my mouth and say nothing, stretching my knees to my stomach and returning to my seat. Janteloven. By offering the academic the opportunity to experience my work, I was breaking all rules of Jante, aside from number 8. The 10 rules state, number 1, you're not to think you are anything special. By presenting my work as a creator, the rule is broken. Number 2, you are not to think you are as good as we are. As a creator, to a teacher of creativity, the rule is broken. Number 3, you're not to think you are smarter than we are. As an outsider offering an insider an opportunity to learn something new, the rule is broken. Number 4, you're not to imagine yourself better than we are. It's the answer to number 3. Number 5, you're not to think you know more than we do. It's the answer to number 3. Number 6, you're not to think you are more important than we are. It's the answer to number 3. Number 7, you're not to think you're good at anything. It's the answer to number 3. Number 8, you're not to laugh at us. Unless the internal laughter at an academic of literature of such a high position with no curiosity counts. Rule number 8 unbroken. Number 9, you're not to think anyone cares about you. See answer to number 3. Number 10, you're not to think you can teach us anything. See answer to number 3. The wheels hit the tarmac. I can never live with Janteloven. I can only reside. Back in Norway, my home lies in the rooms of my apartment and the forest outside my door. I've lost all interest in communicating with new people and curiosity for things unknown. I'll only talk when necessary. There's no time for informality. I won't bother anyone, but I will speak the language. Reluctantly, I'm becoming Norwegian. My son, dear Theo, what can I do? I have no choice. I hope that when you're an adult, it will be different, but I'm not sure anything changes. I love you. A year and a half after my meeting with Alex and the librarian, I'm invited to speak at a writers' festival in Tønsberg, 100 kilometers south of Oslo. The offer is generous. Return train travel, festival entrance, 2 meal tokens, and 2 drink tokens. I manage a lift down with the librarian, the first time I've seen him since that night, 18 months earlier. I settle my nerves with successive beers and give Alex one of my meal tokens. I'm to deliver a presentation on my novel and recent transcription of my grandfather's war diaries, Spitfires and Spots. When the announcer mentions I'll be presenting a book written in English, 15 or so people leave and 4 remain. Alex, the librarian, plus the librarian's brother and girlfriend. I speak to the small crowd. 2 younger Norwegian women enter halfway through and stay till the end. Later, I'm scheduled to participate in a debate. I told the organizer my Norwegian is too poor for a debate. He said English would be no problem. The librarian buys me a stout and I give him a copy of my book. I learn the debate on publishing and self-publishing pros and cons is to be bilingual. My rebuttal's in English, theirs in Norwegian. I have already lost this debate, I tell the crowd, but I'll do my best. The discussion is awkward and pointless.